one of the big VTuber companies has been really seeing a downwards trend. And what really kicked it off was the termination of one specific VTuber. Now, they've had terminations before. They've had people graduate. And for those who don't know, a graduation is when a talent from the VTuber agency leaves on good terms, so to speak. They get a goodbye stream to say goodbye to the audience that they've built up for so long. And then they move on to other stuff. A termination, however, is they got fired. There's not going to be a goodbye stream. Everything's going down, pretty much. And well, before I do jump into a lot of this stuff, I got a meme that sort of kind of explains it. But before I really get into it, I do want to give some context. So, Twitter user Thunderstorm posted this meme where there's Niji Sanji saying, "You can't defeat me." Pomu responding, "I know, but she can." Recently graduated VTuber Pomu. And then it's Selene bursting through the Asgardian castle. But there was a time where Selene had just gone quiet. Oh yeah, this discourse is fucking wild. I don't think I'll be getting into every little nitty-gritty detail. I will be getting into what I think is the bigger, more important stuff. Now, basically, Selene, the purple VTuber down here, was missing in action, so to speak. A lot of fans were expecting her to stream, and well, she just didn't. There were no tweets either, really. So people started the hashtag "Where is Selene?" because, well, the audience, the fan base, was kept in the dark regarding what happened. What kicked off this latest what kicked off the "Where is Selene" stuff was a cover music video that got pushed out on Christmas. But Selene didn't have managerial go ahead to release a song on Christmas. And well, they privated it within 24 hours of it going up. A lot of people are pretty mad about that because we will get into some stuff later. But from what I have heard, Selene paid about $15,000 out of her own pocket to animate the music video. A music video of a cover song from Lily Pichu. For those that don't know, I'm pretty sure she allows her music to be played on streams, no worry of DMCA or copyright. And she even actually did give permission for doing a cover. We will get to that. But we're going to start off with talking about Selene's termination. Typically, when a VTuber gets, or at least when all the different Niji Sanji graduations and terminations I've seen them announce through this main account, they don't do 3 pages. It's typically just 1 page. But with Selene, they decided it's time to go over 3 of them. Or make 3 pages of it. So, here we go. Notice termination of Selene Tatsuki's contract with Anycolor. Anycolor being the parent company of Niji Sanji. We hereby announce that we have made the difficult decision to terminate our contract with the Niji Sanji EN liver, also known as streamer, Selene Tatsuki. effective immediately due to repeated breaches of contracts and misleading statements on social platforms. Attached is the detailed explanation of the circumstances that led to this decision being taken. Thank you for your understanding and continuous support of Niji-Sanji and Niji-Sanji EN. Oh, goddamn sneeze. Like, just takes over my mind. I can't talk. Now, I don't recall every single little breach that Selene had. I think largely the stuff that was talked about mostly was a Fall Guys tournament that she didn't get permission to do, but still went ahead with doing. And I mean, I get that Niji-Sanji wants their talents or their quote-unquote livers in order, they want them to go through the management so that they can approve everything, make sure everything's on the up and up, above board, all that. I do also think it's kind of getting a little too much into the bureaucracy of it. I mean, most of their talents are, most of their talents are established entertainers. They know what they're doing. And for the most part, at least from what I've seen, not many of them will just wildly break rules and stuff like that. So let's actually go through the document. This will be fun. Notice of contract termination with Selene Tatsuki. We sincerely appreciate your ongoing... Yeah, I don't support you, Niji. I just follow you on Twitter, and follow is not endorsement. I just want to keep up with the shit show that is your PR. It is with regret that we have had to make the difficult decision to terminate our affiliation contract with Niji-Sanji EN Liver Selene Tatsuki due to multiple breaches of contract and misleading statements on social platforms. For transparency, we have provided a detailed explanation of the circumstances and reasons that have, unfortunately, led us to this decision below. Activity rules for affiliated livers. Livers being their streamers, by the way. The person behind the VTuber avatar. Nothing to do with any of the artists, just... I personally don't like the term. It's very weird to me. I am just going to be saying streamer instead of liver, because liver is such a weird term. Cancel me all you want. I don't care. Any color has established activity rules that our affiliated streamers agree to comply with. These rules are designed to prevent infringement of third-party rights, leakage of confidential information belonging to any color or third parties, damage to the reputation or credibility of third parties, or other acts that may, that may violate rights, engage in illegal activities, or involve socially condemned behaviors. As a company, we are confident that in order to deliver content to our for our fans to enjoy in the long term, and to create an environment where our affiliated streamers can safely perform their activities with the support of fans and various stakeholders, it is essential for both our streamers and our company to unite and adhere to compliance with the activity rules. Now, I understand the sentiment, and I can kind of get behind the last bit of it, where they want the streamers and the management to unite and coexist and work together. I get that. I don't get why they went into details regarding the rules are designed to prevent like all these different terrible things, and it's just sort of passively implying that Selene did these things during her time at Niji-Sanji. From what I know, she did some things, like I can't remember exactly. I do believe there was an actual breach of NDA. I don't know 100%. We will go through what I do actually know, so grain of salt what I say, please. Do not take me as gospel. Lord knows There is more than enough coverage about this subject out there. Okay, let's see the actual violations of Selene during the activity, or violations of Selene of their activity rules. Despite our efforts to uphold these rules, Selene Tatsuki has repeatedly violated the activity rules since joining Nijisanji EN in July 2021. Wow, she's been with the company a while. Jesus. Longer than I've been a streamer. Actually, about the same time I've been a streamer. Jesus Christ. Selene Tatsuki's actions in violation with the activity rules encompass a wide range of issues, such as non-compliance with rights confirmation and authorization flows, which could potentially lead to infringement of third-party rights, including copyrights. The violations also include unauthorized usage of works and assets belonging to others affiliated with any color, disregarding the intentions of these parties, as well as lack of communication with creators, resulting in delays in Selene Tatsuki's commission payments for creators. Now, I do know there has been issue with the artists that have been working with Selene not getting their payments on time. And from what I've heard, and I believe I've got the clip of as well, we'll find out, that she paid those artists because Nijisanji wouldn't. I don't know the full details, but to my knowledge, Selene paid the artists out of her own pocket, not Nijisanji doing them, let alone approving of the things that she's self-funding as a streamer for a multi-million-dollar company such as Nijisanji / Anycolor. Furthermore, there have been ongoing reports about inappropriate behavior by Selene Tatsuki throughout her time as a Nijisanji EN streamer. We have been addressing these concerns as they arrive. As a company, we recognize that these violations of the activity rules could damage the trust placed in Nijisanji EN. We are also aware that such violations jeopardize the ongoing activities of other streamers affiliated with Anycolor. Furthermore, we have consistently issued warnings to Selene Tatsuki each time there was a violation of the activity rules. However, she repeatedly disregarded these warnings, often failing to reciprocate communication with her managers. Additionally, Selene Tatsuki has repeatedly posted false or misleading information on social media, insinuating that the violations of the activity rules were due to mismanagement by Anycolor. To be fair, I do have the bias against bigger corporations for not respecting or properly managing their talents. I personally have some conflicting issues with Zion Lizette or Zion, whatever. But I don't think Nijisanji should have treated her the way they did. It was not a good look, so to speak. And then with this Selene stuff, it just seemingly got worse for them. In May 2023, we sent a notice to Selene Tatsuki stating that any further violation of... Damn it, sneeze! Excuse me. We sent a notice to Selene stating that any further violation of the activity rules or engaging in false or misleading statements that could damage our company's reputation would result in the termination of our affiliation contract. However, she has continued to violate the activity rules. So, get into the deets. Tell us the deets. If you're, like, the first page, you're saying you're going to be more transparent, and then you just kind of vaguely talk about it. If you're going to say you want to be transparent, give me the actual events, please. All times are in JST, good to know. The events leading to suspension of Selene Tatsuki's activities. Amidst the aforementioned circumstances, on December 26, 2023, Selen Tatsuki posted a music video on the Selen Tatsuki YouTube channel without prior approval, as required by activity rules. Okay, so it was posted on December 26th in Japan time, Japanese Standard Time, which meant for a lot of the Western world, which largely her audience was, being a member of Nijisanji EN, it came out on Christmas Day for a lot of people. So people got pretty mad when their Oshi posts a music video and then the management was like, yeah, you didn't have proper authorization, so we took it down. The materials for the music video were shared for the first time with our management on December 24th. Since some elements of the music video lacked proper authorization on December 25th, we communicated to Selen that permission needed to be obtained from relevant parties, requesting her to wait before releasing it. Despite this, Selen Tatsuki disregarded the notice and proceeded with the unauthorized posting. So, we will get into Lily Pichu and permission regarding that. I don't know what other potential issues could arise that would come up from it. It's the music copyright would be the big thing, and then, you know, paying the artists that are working on the animation for it. Our immediate response was to make the music video private until all authorizations were confirmed from our end. At the same time, the reasoning was clearly explained to Selen Tatsuki. However, Selen took to social media, specifically Twitter, making misleading statements that omitted essential context, notably, quote, management has privated the song, end quote. Furthermore, Selen Tatsuki's post includes a statement encouraging third parties to re-upload the music video, which breaches Anycolor's guidelines for secondary creation, Article 1, Paragraph 2. I don't know those articles or rules, so okay. These actions led to various misunderstandings that damaged the reputation of both Anycolor and Nijisanji EN. In an effort to calm the situation, we sought to either publicly disclose the reasons for making the music video private or have Selen Tatsuki disclose them herself. While being mindful of Selen's physical and mental health, management did their best to communicate with not only Selen herself, but also her emergency contact while remaining considerate of her situation. We were unable to come to an agreement on how to proceed. The decision was made to temporarily remove her access to accounts on various social media platforms and video distribution services under the name Selen Tatsuki. So basically, from what I'm gathering, she posted a music video that was a cover of another creator's song, which all the artists were paid for by Selen herself out of pocket, but she didn't have management's authorization, so that means she doesn't get a post at all in any sort of social media under the name Selen Tatsuki, effectively isolating her from the communities she's been building up for that company. It's not very great, and it does lead into worse mental health for Selen. We will get to that. The termination of the affiliation contract. After attempting to address the aforementioned situation and communicating with the legal counsel representing Selen Tatsuki, we conveyed the necessity for Selen to inform the public about the reasons behind our decision to make the music video private. Additionally, we expressed to Selen our expectations for future compliance with the activity rules from here on. Despite our efforts, Selene Tatsuki demanded that Any Color should be held legally responsible. She claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a streamer due to the decisions made by Any Color, was being harassed by other affiliated streamers due to mismanagement, etc., while refusing to acknowledge her responsibility for violating the activity rules. Moreover, Selene insisted that if the negotiations did not progress, she would proceed to release a statement regarding her claims to the public, which personally I do think is pretty understandable of Selene to do. Now, is it bad that she didn't get full management approval, authorization, whatever, to post that music video? I mean, yeah, but I think the reaction that Niji Sanji had took, or Any Color, whatever, the management took to effectively isolate her was far worse of a thing to do to somebody, especially as a punishment. Again, we are social creatures. We kind of need that social interaction, and I think it's pretty fucking exploitative to have it in their contracts that they can just, yeah, you can't talk to people anymore. Sucks to suck. You sign a contract, sucks to suck. I think that's pretty fucked up. That's just me. Now, the third and final page. Any Color believes that the claims raised by Selene are in fact referring to situations that arose when she was warned about her breaches of the activity rules, and attempts to shift the responsibility for these violations, damaging Any Color and Niji Sanji Ien's image. This led to the deterioration of the relationship between her, Any Color, and other streamers affiliated with Any Color. Any Color firmly believes that we and the other streamers under our affiliation have not engaged in unjust practices towards Selene. Cool. So they see the isolation as just and acceptable. I personally think that's really, really fucked up. Considering the irreparable damage to our company's reputation and threat to the ongoing activities of other affiliated streamers, we regrettably concluded that the termination of our affiliation contract with Selene was unavoidable. Since becoming a part of Niji Sanji Ien in July 2021, Selene has undeniably played a significant role, remember this, in the growth of Niji Sanji Ien. We fully understand that our decision to terminate the contract will have a significant impact on Selene's fans and supporters of Niji Sanji. Remember this. However, ensuring responsible content creation through adherence of our activity rules is fundamental to our mission. It is with deep regret that we must part ways with our affiliated streamer, Selene Tatsuki, as we could not reach an agreement on our points of view. However, we would like to ask for the understanding of our fans as to the circumstances that led to this decision. I will say I do get sort of where they're coming from. They see it as a perceived threat to their brand and they want to maximize their dollar. So if somebody is doing something that they believe to be actively harming their company, their brand, their reputation, I think it's okay to take reasonable steps to address that. I don't think isolating your streamer is a reasonable step to do that. Oh my god. It does keep going. Don't worry. As of today, the 5th of February 2024, JST, Japanese Standard Time, Selene Tatsuki's activities will cease. Her YouTube membership will be closed and her social media accounts will be made private. We will also gradually halt the sale of merchandise and voice-related content. Please note that merchandise produced in 2023 featuring Selene or including her in their lineup may be released in the future. Selene Tatsuki's revenue payment for these has either already been completed or is planned to be settled by the end of February. So, like, we're going to fire you, but we're still going to produce merch about you. Real cool, Niji. The Nijisanji EN VTuber group, Obsidia, will pursue their activities with Rosemi Lovelock and Petra Gurin. I'm gonna be real, I don't know those three. I really don't keep too much of an eye on big corpo stuff. But, like, holy shit, this was a big thing of discourse within the VTuber scene, and it went on for a while. Like, holy shit. We sincerely thank all the fans who supported Selene and apologize for any inconvenience caused by this announcement. We humbly request your continued support for Obsidia and Nijisanji EN in the future. For all inquiries related to this matter, please contact Any Color. There's their contact of their website, .co, blah, blah, blah. And refrain from contacting Any Color's streamers, including any contact on social media or on stream. I do agree with that point. If you got a problem with the parent company of corpos, you don't go to the corpos, or you don't go to the streamers that represent, or that are, yeah, I guess representing that company, whatever. And remember that, because it plays up later. There's a major Yu-Gi-Oh content creator that's in love with Rosemi. That's how I know of her. Oh, fair enough. I was not aware of that. Anyways, so this Dokibird posts out a tweet. I will not be silenced anymore. On December, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by a buildup of bullying from within and being in a toxic and poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on 26th of January. So I don't know exactly how, but the hospitalization attempt is speculated that Dokibird had made an attempt on their life and they were getting treated for it. It was something extremely serious, and I really think that she is telling the truth here. Doki continued, I will be returning here soon as I will like to celebrate Lunar New Year with all of you. This holiday means a lot to me and my Chinese culture as someone that lived in China for a big portion of my life. It should be the start of happiness and new beginnings. Now, keep in mind with that, because that's kind of the direction that Doki really tries to push things in. She wants to focus on the positive. And honestly, part of me is not really wanting to go into this because there's a lot of negativity regarding the situation. However, I do think it's still very important to discuss what went on. I don't think it's worth much of any while to, go after and harass the people involved because of speculations or things they truly do believe. I think she's Chinese, yeah? That's the vibe I'm getting. But yeah, a lot of this has been Nijisanji is falling from graces. They were seen as like one of the better companies, but over time, more and more stories seem to came out. Like a random topic, Seiyu here. I have a video on, well, a girl's story. You should check it out if you want to know more about that. Anyways, it's continued. Hey, look here. This was actually linked in the... fuck. Where was it? I closed it. Fine. This was linked in the community note of the... What's it? The termination notice from Nijisanji. Lily Pichu says, I let them, Niji, No, I'm okay with it back in August of 2022. Over a year before it came out. I feel very honored every time someone covers my song. I very much enjoyed Selene's cover. It's so sad to see what happened. And Lily did this quote tweet when somebody had, tagged her and wanted to support their Oshi. I don't blame them for wanting to support their Oshi. What really bothers me with this is Lily apparently let them know August 2022, but Niji Sanji was like, we didn't have confirmation of copyright. What copyright would be the issue if not the music or the art, which would be done of any color owned character designs, right? Anyways, it continues a little further. One of the mods of Selene went a little rogue. As Game 8910 puts it, and opened a quick stream on her channel to promote Doki. This whole situation is such a clusterfuck. I don't have enough popcorn for it. So here we got the mod silent. Niji Sanji fucked up. They did not remove my mod. Please subscribe to Dokibird on that stream chat on YouTube, and then drops the link to Doki's YouTube channel. Because before joining Niji Sanji, hey yo Angel, how you doing? Before joining Niji Sanji as Selene, she was already established as Dokibird. And from what I recall, she was sitting around 9,000 subscribers at the time of her 9,000 subscribers on Dokibird at the time of termination from Niji Sanji. Let me just double check where she's at now, because it was like within 2 weeks since this dropped, she's gone from 9,000 subscribers all the fucking way up to 606,000 subscribers. Like, for real, she's doing all right. Now that she's indie, this discourse has really gotten people to notice. A lot of people are really energized about it, so to speak. The mod saying they can sue me if it breaches my NDA with them. Don't care anymore. Go follow Dokibird. Show her some love. Another mod, a Whispering Dragoon. Oh wait, no, that looks like the exact same one. Oh wait, Niji Sanji fucked up. They did not remove my mod. Please subscribe to Dokibird on that stream chat on YouTube. I never had an NDA given to me. That's funny. Silent saying only I did, but I don't care. Dragon laughing. Silent Kaiju. I guess a different mod, a third mod. No NDA, sub to Dokibird. It's pretty funny. You can see the running thing of Sink the Yacht, which did become a trending tag and rallied a whole lot of people behind it. Looks like the staff finally woke up. It's 3:45 in Japan. And here's the stream shut down. And VT summarized the whole image, but I don't trust VT. I just trust what I read on Twitter, like a mature adult. And here we have an update from False ID, talking about it. Update, Any Color Inc. has issued a document entitled the impact and decision to terminate the affiliation contract with the Niji Sanji EN streamer on our financial results in response to Selene Tatsuki's termination, which only contained the following 2 sentences. On February 5th, 2024, Anycolor made the decision to terminate our affiliation contract with the Niji Sanji EN streamer Selene Tatsuki. The impact of this decision on our financial results will be negligible. which is really interesting that they put that out 2 days after firing her and saying how influential she was to the growth of the company. Now they're trying to, I don't know, what's the word? They're trying to soothe their investors, not freak them out too much by saying, oh yeah, it's going to be negligible. She helped grow our brand like a fuck ton, but it's her going away is going to be negligible. Now, I'm pretty sure there's more than one company that actually ended up dropping support, but this is the one that popped up on my For You page. Height, I think they're a computer brand. I'm not 100% sure. Please correct me. Notice, in light on February 7th, 2024, in light of recent developments regarding Any Color, Height has made the decision to terminate our current projects with the VTuber group. And they put out the statement. To start, we want to deeply thank the Nijisanji fan community for your support in Height's most recent collaboration. However, in light of the recent developments regarding Any Color, aka Nijisanji, Height has made the decision to terminate our current projects with the VTuber group. All pre-orders of the Nijisanji ENY60 plus keycap bundles made thus far will be cancelled and refunded. We deeply apologize to the Fam Illyria, Rosebuds, and Allo Peeps? Nailed it. Affected. It was truly a tough decision for us, as we know many were excited to receive their limited edition Y60s. Is that a keyboard? Is that a computer? I can't remember. I should have looked into this more. Oh, they also said this includes the cancellation of the High-Tech Nijisanji EN launch giveaway. Thank you for all the fans who have supported us thus far. We deeply wish streamers and the communities the best. With everything surrounding Nijisanji in the past year alone, we at Height want to stand alongside the many VTuber fans who have ceased support for the organization. We thank you for your continued support on our collaborations, and we wish the streamers and their communities all the best. If you have any additional concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out directly to our support line by emailing support@height.com. So I am pretty sure that there's been more than one brand that has decided, yeah, you're too radioactive. We don't want to associate with you right now. Bye, Felicia. And I'm pretty sure there are also like clip channels that decided, yeah, I'm not going to be clipping any Nijisanji live or streamer anymore because of, well, all the different ways they've been called out for treating their employees. Not been a good look for them. Continuing on, here's a clip that from Dokibird's comeback stream, which, by the way, hit over 120,000 viewers, not subscribers, viewers. She was well over 300,000 subscribers at the time she streamed. And I did catch a fair bit of this, but let's hear it directly from her regarding, well, how much she made last year.
My mom scolded me about this because, you know, during all of this, she looked at my financials and I made zero profit last year.
Concurrent, I think the average was around, I would say 80 to 100,000 viewers for that stream in total, but I did see it peak over 120,000 viewers.
It's like she was like, Doki, you have to spend less because you spent $200,000 last year. And I
127,055 viewers peak from what you saw, Angel Tail. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there were a ton of people that were checking this out. Like I'm pretty sure right now this stream alone has over 1 million views. I need to double check that actually.
That hurt. Oh, that hurt. But then when Mr. Man was like, all those projects you want to do, all of that you want to do, you don't have to, you won't be spending $200,000. It just blew my mind. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe those were my expenses last year.
Yeah, pretty fucking wild. Cause like with that clip, she had said that she made $200,000, but zero of it ended up becoming profit. It either went to living expenses or paying for the projects she set her heart on, and Niji-Sanji decided to not fund, despite being a multi-million-dollar company, and they could easily pocket, or they could easily cover $200,000 of like art and that stuff. But no, they're going to make their streamers pay it themselves out of pocket. Now, I do want to double check. Dokibird. She is now she's gone up 1,000 subscribers since I just showed you guys. Look at that shit. Scheduled for 110. Huh. I don't get where that's coming from. Okay. Live. Here. I'm back, everyone. 1.3 million views. People give a shit about Dokibird. And personally, I think she is charismatic enough to understand why people do support it. And then jump ahead to 6 days ago. I can't remember exactly what day that would be. I want to say February 13th, but I am dumb. This was a message from Niji-Sanji En that was put out on Elira Pandora's channel. A 15-minute statement. It involves Vox Akuma, Illyria Pandora, and Ike Vigland. Now, I have watched it previously, so part of me doesn't necessarily want to go over it again. I'm pretty sure I'll be including this in the description of all the different links I've been sourcing for my sources. But largely, I think the main takeaway from this video, at least to me, was that we don't know if this is statements coming from the hearts of those three streamers, or if it's a statement that they had slid in or sent to them and were told, say this or you're fired kind of thing. We don't really know. But some things that were said that really jumped out to me was the Illyria had said that she volunteered her channel to make this statement, which I understand wanting to, like, you've put a ton of effort into helping this company grow and you feel like a very active part. You want to be the one to help clear their name kind of thing. I don't think it's a very good look for a multi-million-dollar company to address this kind of stuff from a streamer's channel. It should have come from the official Nijisanji En channel. That was my understanding. Other things that did pop out were you know what? Let's watch it. It's all black screen. Don't worry. You're not missing any video. Are we missing the audio? God damn. Oh, right. This was also a stream, so it took a while to start.
Hi. This is Alira Pandora.
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. Vox and Ike are also present here with me, and we would like to take some time to address the events surrounding Zelentatsuki's contract termination.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I agree, Alexa.
We have discussed with Any Color staff and our legal team about what we are able to say. However, due to how sensitive the situation is, please do keep in mind that there are limits to what we're able to share. Both we, the livers, and the company have been affected deeply and are taking the situation very seriously. Everything that will be discussed has been approved by our lawyers or is based solely on our personal experiences. Before anything is discussed, there is something very important that we, Nijisanji En, feels need to be made very clear. All of us do not
For the JP side, it came off as, oh, the company is fairly giving its side. But for the international EN side, this came off as apologia, company bootlicking. Yeah, you can be crude and lewd in chat. I don't mind that too much. YouTube's automod does mind, but most of the time I do just allow the statements to be made. I don't care that much. Unless they're just like, I don't know, anger inspiring kind of thing, then I'll get rid of then I'll, let the messages hide.
condone harassment of any kind to any of the parties involved. After discussion with the members of Nijisanji En as a collective, I volunteered for my channel to be used for this stream.
There it is.
Additionally, we've been told that there will also be a video releasing regarding the situation from Tazumi-san directly a few hours following this stream.
Yeah, that is something that also happened. The CEO of Any Color put out a 6-minute video, and I swear to God, the opening of that video was him apologizing about an investor AMA or something like that. So like it comes across as the first thing on their mind was the impact to their investors. Not a good look. A lot of people have been saying a lot of people have been saying they've done very poorly regarding their own PR, and personally I agree.
But what we say on this stream is our own words and our own feelings. I would like to first apologize if my silence on the matter has caused any worry. Over the past month, staff received documents from Solen's lawyer containing examples of her claimed experiences under Any Color.
Oh, right.
These documents in question included personal information of some livers, and when it was sent to us, we learned that there was a potential that this information could be made public.
Okay, so what they're talking about right here is a legal document regarding a potential court case. There is the potential for that to be leaked to the public, But that type of document, to my knowledge, is not not written or created as something to be made public. It's for the lawyers, for the lawmancers, whatever, to actually know what's going on. Because as much as I want to live in the world where I can be sued as Briley VT, you're not going to be putting that on court documents regarding me. Unless you're deranged, I guess.
Some of the information poses a risk to our personal safety and puts some of us at risk of doxing. Notably, one section of this document alludes to where Millie, Anna, and I live. However,
Again, I really don't like how this is being framed. It's coming across as Selene is risking doxing us by pursuing legal action over a company she feels mistreated her. So, like, it doesn't come across as very good to me.
there are also harmful claims Selene made in the document about some livers' personal information that we believe are simply untrue. I felt threatened and scared of speaking out about the situation because of the risk that it could pose to not just my own safety, but the safety of those around me as well. I'm very sad that this is how everything had to turn out, and I deeply apologize to all the fans who have been affected through this time. When Selene had posted the tweet about her cover being privated, several EN members reached out to Selene and we expressed our concerns. We were genuinely concerned, and we want.
The thing that's also interesting is that they're talking in EN, so they're addressing the EN crowd. It feels like they're expecting their EN fan bases to rally around Niji instead of supporting Doki. I'm guessing that's how you're going to conclude it. Yeah, no, I get that. Because, like, it's literally just, it's covering their asses kind of thing.
Wanted to understand the situation, as we were all in the dark about it. Once she notified all of us regarding her hospitalization, we immediately reached out to her, each other, and her manager to confirm her safety. Her manager also immediately reached out to her and her emergency contact and kept us updated throughout the entire situation as well. It's been...
Again, to my understanding, that hospitalization was over a mental health crisis. From what Selene had said was harassment and mismanagement from Niji and other streamers within that. I don't have any screenshots to point to of, hey, this person was bullying Selene. All I really have is she is not the first streamer from Niji Sanji to be hospitalized over such things. I really just don't trust him, to be honest. I don't trust Niji Sanji, like, at all. Supporting Selene by focusing the impact of Selene's expose on Illyria, Vox, and Ike. They're expecting understanding from their fans. As a counter to Selene's truths, basically downplaying Selene's own experience. Yeah, it's what I'm really getting from this is they're trying to play up their, like, the current Niji streamers as, like, the potential victim. They're trying to build up their own pity party, so to speak, and just kind of downplay what happened to Selene, how, not necessarily downplay how serious it is, but they're trying to detract attention away from it to present themselves in a good light.
A very tough time for a lot of us. And I'm honestly not sure what else to say, but Thank you again for everything, for waiting, and thank you.
Next up, Vox.
Thanks, Alira.
No,
you're
no
right.
worries.
Yeah, it has been a really, really tough time, and it's had an effect. I've noticed it's had an effect on everyone. It's had an effect on me too. So I'm joining this stream to talk about my experiences with Selene, to lend some of what I know to help you all understand the context of this a little bit better. I know that a lot of you watching are going to have your own views and opinions on the situation, and so all I would like to ask is that you can take the information that I'm going to present at face value if you can. So, this...
To be fair, at the very most, that's all we can really do. We can just... Most people listening to this will not have further context to provide to it, so they do kind of just have to take them at face value. I can only listen to what he has to say and come to my own conclusions as best I can.
Recent situation began when Selene claimed on Twitter that her most recent song cover had been made private by staff, and she gave no context or reasoning as to why. In actuality, she had been asked to send the content of her music video to her manager in advance of the release date.
Cover video check. December 24th, December 25th, they respond. It will cause more time for me to get confirmation because there are some ex-streamers in the video. Right. Like, I hadn't seen the video. But, okay. I can understand them needing to take more time to get confirmation regarding, like, a graduated VTuber appearing in the video. That said, if it's ex Niji Sanji streamer, what would really be the issue if... Because, like, Niji Sanji owns the rights to all the VTubers they present, they uphold, whatever term you want to use. Like, even if Selene had graduated, she would not have kept the rights to Selene Tatsuki. Those copyrights are owned by Niji Sanji. So it really confuses me why they needed, they would need extra confirmation for a graduated talent showing up in a music video. I could understand if it was like somebody that was terminated and it was a really messy termination, so to speak. But like if it was somebody that they had a graduation, everything went about on good terms, so to speak, I don't get the issue with that. So why is this released before I got confirmation? Because it was Christmas. The video is set to private until I got confirmation. There was also a chance that you might need to adjust it before setting public again. Also, before you post anything to explain about it, please confirm with me. And then apparently she just goes ahead and tweets it like 20 minutes later, if these are the same time zones. Hello, I apologize, but management has privated the song. Please feel free to re-upload since a lot of money and effort was done by so many dragoons, which is what she called her audience. Actually, I think she still calls her audience because Niji Sanji isn't able to copyright the word dragoon. If I'm not correct, I don't remember exactly what she nailed down for the... She does? Nice. That was pretty based of her. I'm really sad this happened on Christmas, but I hope somehow you guys will still be able to listen to it in some way. Which, I mean, I personally get. The fan base voted to remain dragoons. Yeah, I think there was a lot of people wanting to call themselves nesticles because it's a funny word. But I understand going with dragoon because it's like... At at the most charitable, the audience following Doki now is really, what's the term? Polarized against Niji Sanji, so they want to feel that one-upping them, and, well, you didn't copyright that, so we're using it. And a gaming and emulation reference? I didn't know that. Nice. I know of Legend of Dragoon. Let's continue with the video.
For content, etc., which is something that all livers agree to do. Her manager communicated with her about this very clearly, but she released her cover without giving management time to check it, and as a result, it needed to be made private. It was...
And yeah, this whole breach of management permission warrants isolating your employee from the community they've been building for you. That totally tracks. Let's not worry about it and continue. One of the original NES emulators was called Nesticle. Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
Going to be made public again once the checks had cleared. Management absolutely intended to let her release the cover once they'd made sure that it was okay to release. It's very important to establish this pattern of events had happened before on multiple occasions, including her Fall Guys tournament in August of 2023, a voice pack in May of the same year, and an outfit contest also in May. In each of these situations, Selene would be working on one of the projects I mentioned. She'd be given clear communication about confirming certain aspects with staff, as all other livers receive and comply with. And each time, she would refuse to cooperate. And when staff would react appropriately, she would make public statements that would hurt Any Color's reputation. And as these situations kept occurring, myself and other livers felt very upset and anxious. We felt that these statements harmed all of us as a group. Excuse me. So, it's this context that I hope explains why myself and some other livers decided to approach Selene and ask about her handling of the latest situation.
When you were listening to Vox here, it really felt like he's defending Niji, really casting Selene as a consistent rule breaker. Yeah, that's really the vibe he is pushing with this statement here so far. Anwar said, how can taking initiative harm the other streamers of a group? How? I think the harm they're proposing, where's that screenshot? Okay, I don't remember where it was exactly. They only showed it a little bit. But like they're saying that, at least with the music video case, it's that she had posted publicly saying that management took down the video, so they're bad for doing that, which personally I think they are. I think it was a bit of an overreaction, especially for something that isn't using other people, like other companies' copyrights. They had the confirmation from Lily that wasn't the issue. Apparently the issue was an ex-streamer from Niji Sanji that appears in that music video. I really don't see why that needs extra confirmation time. Like, Niji Sanji should own the rights to that and be able to use it how they want. I can see an argument for it being made semi in poor taste, because like if a streamer is no longer active at the company anymore, they kind of want to focus on who they do have that can still produce content for them. So I can get being hesitant about letting an ex-liver on there, but to like completely shut us, like to completely shut Selene out of any sort of social platform is just barbaric to me. Call me dramatic if you want. There are a number of ways when interacting with strict Japanese management company that wants to maintain a certain culture. But that's harm to Niji, not harm to other streamers, livers. The thing with damaging the reputation of the company, it can potentially damage both. Like the fallout with Niji Sanji. Please tell me I opened that bookmark. I'm pretty sure I missed it. Fuck. Okay, let's pull up a new. Let me just double check that. What was I saying? Like, there was a lot of people going around with the sink the yacht stuff, the trending tag, and it was basically to push people to unsubscribe from the different Niji Sanji streamers, the main channel is. Oh, here it is. I guess thank you, Parrot 4chan, for sharing this. But on February 6th, this was posted. A lot of different Niji Sanji streamers were losing thousands of subscribers over the Selene termination. That's kind of what the Sink the Yacht was going for. If that's the case, then it really shows how hierarchical and domineering the corporate culture is. I mean, like almost all corporate cultures are like that. It's twisting of an injury to one is an injury to all slogan of the IWW. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Japanese companies are very hierarchical. Pronouncing it perfectly, that is the way vast majority are. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe.
Which was her cover being made private. So some livers, myself included, asked Selene why she tweeted about the cover in the way that she did, expressing that we felt it was unnecessary and harmful. According to Selene's lawyer, it's this event that they claim to be a build-up of, and what they claim to be a build-up of past experiences that led to accusations made by Selene that she was bullied and harassed.
Well, I mean, in that 3-page termination, there was bullying and harassment talked about in there regarding Selene. Like, I'm willing to bet some of this shit did happen to her. Maybe it's not to the full extent that we believe. Maybe there was some embellishment. I do believe some wrongs were done on both sides, to be honest. But I think one side was far worse, notably, in how they responded to the other. That side being Niji Sanji. I'm fully confident in saying Niji Sanji came down with an iron fist over not the biggest issues. Stuff that, could have been handled privately without all this frequent stuff. Especially since Doki, the last tweet I read of Doki, as far as I'm aware, was meant to be her last public addressal of it. She wanted to move on, and then, well, Niji Sanji made more posts. The 3 streamers made this stream. The CEO of Niji Sanji made his own video. There was another statement that was made. And then Doki responds again. So let's finish off this video. I might go through the CEO's video. We're already over an hour into coverage, so no wonders of having workers union there at Niji Sanji representing worker grievances could have mattered, or perhaps the streamers could have. Yeah, I think if there was like some collective action done by the workers or the streamer, like everybody at Niji Sanji that isn't in a managerial spot, I think if they did have like a union, this stuff would have definitely played out differently. Remember, in order to take down the machine, you have to understand how to operate within it. Very, very true. So many people just want to take down the machine without actually understanding, without actually knowing the nitty-gritty of how to make things better when they don't even know how it works. Yay! Or perhaps the streamers could have come together in a la Niji Sanji Resistance of the old with Chalk and others. While it feels that Ian streamers seem like they're atomized. Yeah, only doing their own stuff, not really collectively. I honestly don't know how much Niji Sanji streamers collab with each other, or how much they even collab with non-Niji streamers. I do think the company is incentivized, so to speak, to keep their streamers isolated. It makes it a lot easier for the companies to control. Also working collectively, yep, I want like every industry to do that personally. Other than very specific arranged collabs. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from Niji Sanji. Again, I haven't watched like a fuck ton of Niji Sanji. I'm in no place to call myself an avid Niji Sanji fan, but I still think I'm giving warranted critique.
As you can imagine, this is incredibly serious, and I want to state that throughout my friendship with Selene, I did my best to support her in private and talk to her about any problems she might have been having whenever I had the chance. Having thoroughly reviewed the documents sent,
and also the contract-based thingy, since the streamers are based on contracts, they seem themselves not as workers, but more like talents hired, which is actually true. Yeah, like they might be working full-time, but from my understanding, the majority of them are essentially just contract-based workers. So like it's just within the contract set. There is no specific job description. It's just produce content, make us money, follow our rules to the letter. That's there's that illusion in many companies, whether it be a Japanese company, a Philippine company, or an American company, that the company is a family. There's a lot of that. Understanding the machine, quote, machine isn't a family, breaking that illusion that the company isn't their friend that good. I definitely agree. Yeah, I mean, most movie stars are a variant of contract worker. They just have a union to make it not shit. Yeah, I agree with that. And we should definitely get a union for corpo VTubers. I don't know how much there is. I actually do think there would be a value in like a broader VTuber union or guild that represents corporate and indie VTubers. I think the collective action would really benefit everybody in the space. Streamers would feel more comfortable with what they're doing. They would feel more, I guess, empowered, so to speak, that they can go after the stuff they want without too much red tape, so to speak. Maybe I'm just talking about idealist stuff. I don't really know. Problem is, in arrangements where there's talents and contracts, there's like favoritism and even cliques that form, preventing worker solidarity. Yep. Yeah. Had the idea of trying to contact more perfect union, the WW, or maybe some JP union to give insights on the situation. That might not be a bad idea. There are definitely multiple organizations out there that are willing to help people unionize. It is somewhat treading new ground in order to unionize such a broad landscape as VTubers. So there's not really like a go-to example of how to figure things out and run things. The closest I would say would be like SAG-AFTRA, but I do have personal issues with them. I just think that a shit union is better than no union. But that's personal biases. MPU would be interesting to do a take on this. honestly, I'd really be interested to check out anybody that would be interested, like a union organizer or advocate, I guess, and getting their full-on thoughts regarding it. Anyways, I do got to continue this video or the coverage will never end.
To Any Color by her lawyer, and based on what I know personally and have been
Loud.
told by Selene as her friend, myself and other members vehemently believe these claims to be completely untrue. I feel very confident in saying that the way I and other livers communicated with Selene about this incident was fair and reasonable, especially considering our built-up anxiety over this repeating pattern of behavior. In my opinion, I do not think that it was a form of harassment. Also,
Okay, so I'll be charitable, you might actually have that opinion. You don't think or Vox doesn't think he was coming from a place of harassment. But what he did say was that all the different live streamers reached out to themselves and management and to Selene. And if all the people you know that you're like building working friendships with are starting to come at you and say, hey, this is making me very anxious, I think this was very bad taste, when you're like getting a bunch of those messages at once, it can come across with the exact same outcomes as harassment without it being intended to be harassment. I have talked about this on the channel previously before, at least in some regard, but the go-to example I like to use is from ContraPoints, where in her video called Canceling, she makes a point of multiple people can levy potentially legitimate criticisms at a public figure, and then the sheer number of those criticisms can be the problem. And her analogy, to sum up, that I personally really like and continue to use is the snowflake doesn't need to feel responsible for the avalanche. So like everybody that is potentially giving good faith criticism can come across as like a wave of harassment to somebody that is just trying to make entertaining content. That's really the vibe I'm getting. Vox may be justified in his anxiety. I don't hold that against him. I don't hold anxiety against people. I do think people do need to recognize that if a lot of if a ton of people are focusing on one thing, one person, and a lot of them are making similar kinds of stuff, you don't really need to throw your 2 cents in, especially if you already see somebody else throwing your 2 cents in. Most of the time, it's this stuff on Twitter that just ends up dogpiling. It leads to more criticism it leads to more, I guess, attacks or perceived attacks rather than actually levying criticism. Another thing that ContraPoints brought up in the Canceling video, which is largely actually why I tend to stick to covering or talking about like drama as stuff on my channel, as I'm of the opinion if I were to make call out threads, it might just be seen as inciting harassment. Because a lot of the time with text, the sentiment behind the words can get lost. It's a lot harder to, not impossible, but it is harder to take people out of context or to misinterpret what people are saying when you're legitimately hearing what they're saying, the emotional inflections in their voice. That's just why I tend to prefer talking things out on stream where there's always a public record, instead of just making a Twitter thread and then potentially being misunderstood. Because literally, Twitter is a place where you can say, I love waffles, and somebody will respond, so you hate pancakes. It is literally that landscape. It is not good for people's mental health. We all should get off it, and yet I continue to use it because I make content from it. Yay, good person.
So in the document given to Any Color by Selen's lawyer, it stated that Selen had secretly recorded me in a private voice call without my knowledge or consent. Now, I have...
Okay, so this can be potentially a very bad thing, but here's the thing. I don't know where Selen was living when she recorded that, because, like, if she was living in Canada when she recorded that, like, I'm Canadian, we have one-party recording laws, which means no matter what you say, if I am in a voice call with you, legally, I can record that and then use it for whatever means I want to. But largely, I don't care about recording private conversations with people. I have had at least a couple videos come out that, for off the top of my head, I only really can think of one. I had spoken with a banned Twitch streamer known as Sweet Samantha VR. I'm pretty sure she's updated her name since then. I don't recall 100%. I should double check that. Anyways, she was banned from Twitch and ended up moving to Kick. And due to scheduling conflicts, we ended up having a call off of stream. But I also made sure to, let her know that, hey, I'm going to be recording this. I'm making content about this. I just want to get your side. Also, having drama tubers, bad faith peeps, and reactionary choo-choos are also a factor. Yeah, a lot of commentary channels can spread dangerous narratives sometimes. There are a lot of people that just don't care, and they will just, put out whatever makes them money, whatever gets them clicks, whatever they think the most people will agree with, kind of thing. Oh, this part, Mo remembers that Selen, this wasn't like recording the Convo Stealth thing. The recording was for a project? Wait, really? Like, what? It was for some kind of project? Like, if somebody were to... random example, I don't think it's happened so far. I don't know if it'll happen in the future. It'd be kind of funny if it did. But if I'm just hanging out in my voice chat in my Discord server, like I do, because I enjoy conversations with people, who knew? If somebody were to record that while I'm like not streaming and just in that, and then they put out like a funny video and they have my voice from not on stream, I mean, as long as it's an entertaining thing that I don't perceive comes from a malicious or bad faith place, I'm not going to strike or go after them or anything. It's just personal preference. I don't care. I essentially assume that every interaction I have will get leaked sooner or later, so I just go with the flow. Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't fully gone through Doki's responses yet, and we are definitely going to be ending this on a positive note, because we have been getting a lot into negative stuff. But I mean, the negativity is a big part of why this became so huge. Sadly, sometimes you have to go through the negative for something really, really good to come of it. And in this case, it's Doki hitting over 600,000 subscribers since going indie. And the way she's used her platform since then, with all this new attention on her, she's actually directed it to some pretty good places, but we'll get to that.
Absolutely zero memory of what I might have specifically said in that recording, but we know it was on the topic of the tweet that I had made around the time of AR Live's cancellation last year. From what I know, based on this document, Selene had wanted to use this as proof of staff showing favoritism for some members over others, as at the time I wasn't reprimanded by staff having made that tweet. I followed this issue up with my managers and I was...
Wait, did they reprimand you for a bad tweet later on? I don't remember if he actually says whether or not he did get reprimanded for that. So just saying, if you want to say there's no favoritism and then say that, oh yeah, I wasn't reprimanded for that at the time, and then not really confirm whether or not they actually did, it kind of comes across as not that great.
Told that they didn't reach out because they didn't want to cause further controversy at the time. However, I've been asked to delete other tweets on multiple occasions when I've accidentally broken a rule. In these cases, we're politely informed that when we should avoid tweeting something, we apologize, delete it, and move on.
Okay, I will be a little less charitable here. You guys showed the DMs with Selene and her Mr. Man or whatever, her manager or agent or whatever. You guys showed those DMs. So why are you not showing how you were reprimanded by your management? Why are you not showing the proof of what you're saying? You have shown proof that Selene didn't have the permission to post that video immediately. So why can't you show other things? I get that it was a stream, but you guys are huge creators, at least compared to me. And I show more context than you guys have so far. So far, a lot of this is #trust me, bro. And frankly, I don't typically trust corporate mouthpieces, which, with respect, this is how this is coming across.
The real issue here, however, is that someone I trusted and considered a friend not only recorded me in secret, but also that these recordings were held without my knowledge for almost an entire year. The fact that
wait. How could she record something without your knowledge but it not being secretive? I'm getting confused by this, and I am just getting vibes of character assassination. Like, oh, you're supposed to be my friend, but you secretly recorded me, and not go into details on that one. And oh yeah, management's always nice, but we're not going to show that either. Like, you guys can do that. You've shown already that you can share those pictures. You'll take the time to arrange them, but you'll only do it to show how Doki didn't listen to management. Can you... From what I remember, last time I watched this, like, when I first watched this, I actually didn't see that first screenshot. I just let the video play. I was actually walking somewhere, so I was just listening to it as I was walking. So, as far as I'm aware, every time I had checked, it was just a black screen. I had no idea they had any sort of screenshots in this. So, having some screenshots for some of the claims you're making, but not for the other ones, it kind of gets me worried about your trustworthiness.
was held throughout our friendship is really upsetting to me. Until now, I had always looked up to Selene as my senpai, and I felt really lucky to be her friend. Having to talk about this now and seeing how this has played out is, again, heartbreaking. Selena told me privately about her disagreements with staff and her managers, and I had done my best to support her and to help her make what I thought were the right choices, even when she talked about wanting to graduate. For context, leaving Nijisanji is always an option for livers. If she had wanted to graduate beforehand, she was given very many chances to do so amicably.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys know you can just quit your job? The thing that puts food on the table, that puts a roof over your head, you can just quit that without having anything lined up at any time. You can. Is it the smartest option to do so? Fuck no. You want to have something lined up when you are leaving so that you don't, risk being just stuck out on the street. I am actually unironically really glad that Doki ended up getting all the support she did, because she was literally removed from her job over what I personally see as not that big a deal of stuff that was kind of blown out of proportion. That's really the vibe I'm getting. I really don't think it should have caused her to be terminated, especially because she was terminated while she was hospitalized. I don't remember if I went over this before or if it's in the next couple statements from Doki that I'm going to be going over, but as far as I'm aware, she found out she was fired the same time everybody else did with that tweet. They didn't talk to her privately. Apparently, they reached out to their emergency contact and those close to her when things were going on, but they didn't tell her that the company was terminating her. Things don't add up. It just seems like very, very bad mismanagement, which is why I kind of side with Selene/Doki on this.
And on multiple occasions, Selene had told us she planned on graduating, but would then go back on this shortly after. For example, she told me that she would be graduating.
I'm gonna be fair. I've had coworkers that every day they say how much they hate the job and they want to quit, and then they continue working there for multiple years because no better options show up. And if you just quit your job with no future prospects lined up, there's a very high likelihood or high risk of maybe you don't find a new job in time for rent being due. What do you do then? You're fucked. That's what happens. Unless you have somebody else you can rely on in that situation, help bail you out of it, you're pretty fucked in that situation.
Graduating on the day we hosted the Prism Cup, but as you know, this didn't happen. She also, after being warned by staff due to her repeated rule breakages in May of last year, told other livers that she was being terminated at that time, when, like I said, she had just been warned, nothing else. Because I trusted her so much, and I listened to her narrative of half or untruths about her relationship with Anycolor, this caused me so much anger on her behalf.
What half or untruths did they prove? Honest question, I don't remember what they've actually substantiated. So far, it's just been saying stuff that they've claimed has been cleared with lawyers and their management and all that. But in the end, largely, they're just saying stuff. They've shown one screenshot. Well, technically 6, but it was all shown at once.
That I had considered graduating with her in solidarity, seriously. And I now know that my intense feelings at the time came from omitted context and falsehoods, and that, once again, is heartbreaking. I'm incredibly happy with my job, and even in the face of times as hard as these, I really wouldn't want it any other way. So regardless of how I now feel about Selene having been my friend and having hurt me and my fellow livers in this way, her attempt on her life will never ever be something to be taken lightly.
Nor should
I
it.
recall the moment when I and other livers found out about what had happened, and we prayed for her safety then, and we still do, regardless of the outcome of the situation.
It also felt like Vox is undervaluing the hard work of the streamers, workers do and have done just to be able to reach this level in Niji. That makes sense. I'm not 100% sure I'm on board with that, because doesn't any color have like a VTuber academy or something where you can go through this academy and then you have a chance of becoming a Niji Sanji streamer, or you can go do your own thing, which I do think is overall pretty pog initiative, because like they can just get the training and then go be indie. That's cool. But I don't really know how much he's undervaluing the work that streamers had to take to get to Niji Sanji, or at least to get to where their level is at. Personally, I do think that the majority of streamers at Niji Sanji have had to put in tons of work to get to the level they're at. These are not people that you just pick up off the street and then they suddenly know how to be an entertaining streamer. Usually it takes years of practice. Usually. He should have been more sympathetic, since he should know the hardships of working as a streamer. Yeah, I can see that. Just sending salutes, care, Rabu, and appreciation to Briley. Thank you. And C, I do like Seahorse. And all the VTubers and streamers in chat. Your hard work is appreciated. You're awesome culture workers. I agree with that. Streamers are culture workers, so to speak. Whether or not people will actively talk politics or whatnot on their streams is not terribly relevant, because people will still, whether they know it or not, they can play into culture war stuff. They can play into a number of different things without really realizing how much politics actually affects the real world. But yes, I super appreciate your what do you have to say, Angel Tail? Thank you for that.
Situation. I genuinely want nothing more than for Selene to grow and to be in a safe place where she can look after her health, insofar as me and the rest of EN can heal in our own way too. To those of you watching this stream, please leave her be. Harassment of any kind is vicious, and it's insane, and it has no place in this community. That's all I needed to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vox.
To a certain extent, you can always be pushing something even if you don't know it. Yeah, absolutely true. And yeah, personal politics do seep into everything, whether people want to admit it or not.
Before we round things off, I also had something that I wanted to say. It's going to be a little bit on the shorter side. By the way, hi, I'm Mike. First off, I just wanted to say, like, preface this with, like, sorry if I have a hard time finding the proper words for anything. I'm a little bit all over the place right now. Excuse me for a second. For a very long time, I considered Selene as a good friend within Niji Sanji EN, be it on stream or off stream. We always managed to get on really well. So that's why it was so shocking for me to learn that Any Color had received these documents from Selene's lawyer. Learning about what was contained within these documents was, to me personally, incredibly saddening. Knowing that the things said within the document were coming from the very same person that I call my friend was hurtful and disappointing in a way I really don't know how to describe. Not only because of it made me now re-examine our entire friendship, but primarily because the document contains some information that we believe is incorrect, that could be harmful for us, and it's just private information that is very terrifying to have being, shown before you like that.
Again, I do not believe that the documents they're referring to were ever intended to be released to the public. They were to, I don't know, what's the word? They were to be used in the process of seeking legal, I don't know the word. I don't know, seeking legal closure. I do know that largely after like this stuff that I'm going to end up covering, they have ended up, we're just taking this to court. So they've kind of quieted down. We'll have to wait for that to play out. But there's 2 minutes left on this statement. I just don't really like how he's playing into the Doki could have doxed us with this document, and I'm willing to bet if Doki was going to dox somebody, they wouldn't do it through that document. It would have been done elsewhere. Not through, hey, this is a document I gave to my lawyer, and therefore it's going to absolutely be made public with super sensitive private information on. I don't think that's the reasonable perception of the situation. But granted, I don't personally know any of the streamers involved in this. I don't know any people working at Nijisanji or any color. I am very in the dark regarding their personal lives, their personal information, how they conduct themselves largely. I'm just purely giving my opinions from an outside perspective.
Right now, we're all very stressed.
Understandably.
But in spite of this, I feel like the public deserves to, at the very least, be aware of the existence of these documents, as well as of.
I think that's bad framing, dude. Like, again, I'm pretty sure those documents were not meant to be given to the public or made mention to the public. They're meant for the courts. So, like, this is kind of implying that Doki was wanting to dox them, which, given the vibe I've gotten from Doki so far, and talking with a friend that has actually been a somewhat long-term fan of Selene, at least they claim to be a Doki fan before they joined Nijisanji, and now that they've left Nijisanji, they're back to being Doki, so whatever. That said, my friend tells me that they don't give that kind of vibe. It's a friend I personally trust. I'm not going to force them to come on stream just to give that testimony. I'm just saying I can verify with some level of confidence that it would potentially be out of character for Doki to actually want to dox somebody.
Some of its contents, for the sake of transparency and honesty. We understand that the past week of radio silence has been really difficult for all of you.
I will say that making the claim you want to be transparent and honest really falls short when the only screenshots you're showing are of how Selene didn't listen to management for the music video. Aside from that, no other context has been provided besides personal statements. So it's really a trust me bro situation, and I don't trust you guys. That's really what the bottom line is.
But please rest assured that we have been working very, very hard to try and understand what it is that we can and cannot say about this.
I would hope so.
But we wanted to make sure that what we shared was as much as we were able to share. Within Nijisanji En, everyone always makes an effort to make sure that anyone who wants to be included in something has the opportunity to do so, whether
would
that
hope
be
so.
online or offline. And all of us will continue to do our utmost to provide a safe and fun environment for fans to enjoy together. And lastly, to round this off, I want to reiterate, please do not spread hate to anyone involved in any way, shape, or form, or anyone in general, honestly. We ask that in these times you allow us to continue our activities without asking us for any additional information about the situation. At this point, it's an issue for the lawyers, and we ask that you do not pressure any of us to discuss the matter beyond this point. Please reach out to Any Color for contact regarding anything else.
I do think if people do have something they just gotta say to Nijisanji or Any Color, just email them directly. Don't go after the talents. But it does kind of seem like contradictory information when such an important message from Nijisanji as the company is coming from a streamer's channel, like a talent's channel. I think if this stream was done from the Nijisanji channel itself, it probably would have come across better to the public. This just, at least from my experience and what I've seen discourse regarding this, it really seems like a lot of people are under the impression that Nijisanji is scapegoating their liver or their streamers in order to not fully take the brunt of stuff. Which, I mean, I don't know if I 100% believe that's the case, but I can understand where they're coming from with their argument.
And I think that's everything from me. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was the official statement. And then a following statement comes out from Nijisanji's official Twitter. Regarding concerns that have arisen in relation to the current situation, in the stream done earlier by our streamers, a message from Nijisanji En, it was mentioned that parts of the information received from Selene and her lawyers were shared to them by Any Color Incorporated. As mentioned in the stream and notice published by Any Color Incorporated, the termination of Selene and her lawyer claimed that streamers affiliated with Any Color were involved and that they will hold Any Color legally responsible. Which, I mean, seems reasonable to me. Does somebody want to explain why that's unreasonable? Selene and her lawyer mentioned the possibility that they will also hold streamers affiliated with Any Color Inc. legally responsible. I don't know enough of the situation whether or not to say that the streamers from Nijisanji or Any Color could be legally held responsible. I don't know what they are forced to say and what they're not forced to say. That's just information I am not privy to have. It's something that'll just have to come out with the court case. In order to check the validity of Selene and her lawyer's claim, Any Color Incorporated shared only necessary parts of the information sent by her lawyer with our streamers and led an internal investigation. They're investigating themselves. To begin with, Any Color Incorporated has not made any confidentiality violations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. However, regarding the specific information and documents which Selene's lawyer requested that we do not share with our streamers, with utmost consideration of this request, Any Color Inc. has not shared any such information. So, like, it's stuff regarding a legal claim, and they didn't Any Color did not share every bit of that document with their streamers. They shared what they felt was relevant and what they were not asked to keep private. It does sound like whatever they were asked to keep private, they did, and I would hope so. You're dealing with lawyers. In addition, our livers are not held to any confidentiality obligation regarding the information shared to them from Any Color Incorporated. Thus, there are no legal issues regarding the information shared to the public in the stream made by our streamers. After a rigorous legal check, Any Color Incorporated hereby declares that it has not made any confidentiality violations while checking the validity of claims made by Selene and her lawyer with its affiliated streamers. So the Trust Me Bro guys did an internal investigation and found they have done no wrong. That sounds reasonable. Personally, if there's going to be an investigation done, I think it should be done by a third party, because a first party investigation will always be biased. Like, you want to build public relations, like your 6.9 million views, nice. You want to build you want to increase positive public reception of your brand, you want to increase your image. You don't just investigate yourself and say, yeah, we did all good. You have somebody that is unrelated, a third party, to check things out in as unbiased a way as possible, and then people will hear what they have to say, and hopefully you didn't commit anything bad. But with the Trust Me Bro company saying we did an investigation and we didn't do anything wrong, trust me, bro, I don't trust them. That's just me. Do third-party investigators usually happen? I think, honestly, no, because most companies don't want to actually be investigated, which is why most companies, at least to my understanding, will just do their own internal investigation and then say we did nothing wrong, because they're not at any sort of liberty to release their investigations to the public. We will, as far as I can tell, we will never find out the actual investigation done by Nijisanji. We just kind of got to take their word that they did an investigation and found no issue. Which is part of why I think there should be a third party that does like actual investigations. And personally, I think it should be very, very transparent of what does get investigated and what is confirmed to have happened. I don't need to know streamers' personal info. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about were they mistreated by the company. And usually I'm not going to believe a company, especially a multi-million-dollar company that didn't even foot the bill for one of Selene's projects. She makes $200,000 in a year that she ends up keeping for herself. Lord knows how much she made for Nijisanji. Only they will know. But then they couldn't even fund one of her projects. Maybe they did. Maybe I just haven't heard about it. But from the impression that I have, Selene paid all projects out of her pocket and didn't make a single cent of profit because she was so focused on making the content for Nijisanji, and Nijisanji pocketed all that money. Well, Any Color pocketed all that money. Anyways, the CEO, as mentioned before, made a video addressing our concerns. Do we want to go over it? 6 minutes. I've seen people say it would have been more credible with a ukulele, and frankly, I would agree with them. Personally, I don't think this video really added much of anything new. It was just another sort of attempt to save their PR. So, yeah. If you want to check it out, it's out on YouTube. Go to Niji-sanji's official YouTube channel and find their Addressing Your Concerns video. But, I mean, I've been talking about Selene and Niji-sanji for about 2 hours now, and I don't want to go over another video. Because the last video was 15 minutes, took me about 45 to get through, I think. Anyways, Doki finally responds on February 14th. I was ready to move on. I had made my last statement, and I haven't looked at anything regarding my past for a full week. I didn't look at anything regarding legal documents or anything regarding my situation since I moved back to Doki. I wanted to be more hopeful for the future and never interact with that side again. So to see it all come back and reopen a wound that I was ready to heal from, and to have to talk to my lawyer again on how to respond. The document mentioned was at first made to document my thoughts and history with evidence so that my lawyer can see the general picture of what was going on, and that if there were issues that should be addressed. It was first made during my darkest time mentally, and I wrote everything on my mind little by little at the time. I made the document thinking that it was never going to be public to anyone but my lawyer. Although it was a document filled with my personal information as well as privacy information that should not be public. There were no other addresses or specific locations mentioned. The only person that could have been location doxed, it sounds like, was Doki. So it kind of infuriates me a little bit reading this now that they were playing into the Doki could have doxed us, and we're so scared about that. And yeah, doxing is a seriously harmful thing. It should never be taken lightly. But it really sounds like in this case, the only one fully at risk of being doxed is Doki. Again, I am biased towards Doki, so who knows? We'll have to let the courts figure it out. I'm just talking about what was made public. Where was I? Regarding a recording, this was not intended to be anything other than a distribution test for planning of a collaborative event between two people, which happened to be left over from one test recording, and I never recorded any other conversations with anyone. The recording was never shown anywhere, even in a legal setting, and there are no other records. However, I regret that it was mentioned, and I am sorry to all parties affected for the misunderstanding in this. So, she had a recording that was never meant to be going public. It was just to be a test thing. I don't know why it needed to be a recording of Vox that he wasn't aware of, assuming that is what happened. Doki could have made anything kind of recorded to test out for a distribution test. So, overall, it does seem like a misunderstanding. I don't think there's anything malicious behind it. Kind of weird, but not super damning, so to speak. This could easily be talked about for 20 plus hours. Oh yeah, 100%. I am definitely limiting the stuff I'm going into because holy shit, there was a lot. I requested that I just wanted to move on. Sometimes I didn't hear anything for days from the lawyers on the other side and felt like I'd be alone and isolated for a long time. It made it so hard for me mentally. On February 5th, my lawyer discussed and said it would be best to show the document I wrote to the other lawyers, as we have not heard from them for a week or any negotiation talks or given a meeting to discuss after my request to part. It was never intended to be used for anything else. I've asked my lawyer to convey that and have communication that the document as it was written wasn't going to be released anywhere, and my lawyer did so when sending the document. Less than 2 hours after my lawyer sent the document, the termination notice came out. I was very shocked, but thought that that was the last time I will hear or think about the document, and that is, personally and my own opinion, was the end of the lawyers and legal involvement. All the communication was done between lawyers in Japanese. Things are not black and white, and everything gets more complicated and muddled when lawyers are involved in a different country. When things are... Oh, great. I turned that off. Fucking auto scene select. Driving me up a wall. Anyways. When things are conveyed to multiple parties through multiple different degrees of communication and languages, everything turns into different narratives and different translations. I thought it was over and I've accepted what happened and ready to move on. Everything I post to the public about the situation was a response. If it was a month ago, it would have been different as I was angry, but I was also very alone in my head. But it's not a month ago, and I've accepted it. I wanted to be neutral and private, but now the whole world is involved and the public is watching every step that happens. I am not perfect, and I have faults. I had to watch my dad cry and break down in front of me for the first time in my life last night. Despite everything that has happened, please show kindness to all parties involved. There are real people behind the monitors. One of the reasons why I wanted this to be private is that the internet can be a cruel place, and I knew this would happen the moment this type of notice drops. What I didn't reveal to anyone, and only my parents and therapist knew, was that it was not one attempt, but two, which happened a few weeks after the first. Jesus Christ, Doki, I am glad you're still around. My parents found me in time after searching for me for hours before anything happened. I was in a really dark place, and I do not wish this to anyone. No one should have to go through what I went through. I 100% agree with that. I reveal this now not for pity, but to state that no life, no matter what, should be risked for ego or winning anything. There are no winners in this. Please don't make it like high school. I'm sorry, Doki, that's Vtubers. I'm sorry. Treat everyone like adults and with some empathy and kindness. For those who wish to see the receipts or documents or anything else, hoping I will reveal them, I'm sorry, but these things are things that should be private and, if needed, between lawyers. Massive respect, Doki, for saying that. Like, literally, most of this shit, like all of this shit, could have been handled privately, but it wasn't. Revealing private documents and talking about the documents within will only just make things worse and more complicated as outside parties get involved and will just hurt everyone. No one deserves to be pushed over the edge. So many people have got hurt and involved even if they were innocent bystanders. In the end, I will always be here to respond, and that this is the only thing I will do in public. I hope this will be the last statement I have to make. God, Doki, I hope so too. And then she posted a Japanese version because she has a substantial amount of Japanese friends or fans. And where do I personally want to end this coverage? I want to end it on a thank you note from Doki to her community. Doki tweets out, "Thank you everyone for your kindness. I feel with all this new attention and eyes on me, I really wish to direct it at something positive we can do together. I have set up a fundraiser on my channel's free chat to support mental health. This is also an open fundraiser, so any channel can join in. I will be doing a charity/fundraising stream with stretch goals and donor incentives next week. Posted February 18th, 2024. It is currently February 19th. So this was posted yesterday. More information will come out soon as I am still organizing it and figuring out the details. I can't believe you have all donated so much even before I was able to officially announce it. Please remember that you all matter and you are important in this world. As long as we are here together, we can make a small change in this world for something better. I will be offering alternatives for worldwide options soon as well, since the YouTube feature is not available to everyone." And as you can see here, she starts up a fundraiser for mental health support, and out of a $10,000 goal raised, before officially announcing it, her fans just see it and donate because, well, they want to support mental health issues. They've raised over $6,000 before even the first stream. Holy shit. I totally get why the Dragoons have rallied behind this. This is something that really energized them, really polarized them regarding mental health struggles, and how even their Oshi, no matter how strong and resilient they present themselves, they can struggle with mental health issues. Here's a little statement from Dokibird on the fundraiser. "You Dragoons have helped support me in many ways, but there's so many people out in the world that will benefit from your love and kindness. Let's work together in supporting those in need and making a small difference in the world. Mental health is always important. Please remember to look after yourself and everyone around you. You all matter and are important in this world." So yeah, that is where I think everybody's energy should be directed from this point on. Like, if you want to show your support for Dokibird, go donate to her fundraiser. Personally, I do not think you should bother with going after Nijisanji, because, like, for one thing, we've known they haven't been the greatest company for a while now. And, well, things haven't been exactly great. But I am unironically really happy. It fills me with at least some bit of joy that Doki takes this, recognizes that there's a massive amount of attention on her, and then funnels that into something beneficial to the world at large. I don't think enough people actually end up doing that. There are more than a handful of people that do use their platform to push for the causes that they really, really care about. But then there are people that just don't want to engage with any sort of political action or even political conversations. Like, as much as I would love to see this amount of enthusiasm, this much amount of conversations going on, like regarding Palestine, I understand that not everybody has a personal vested interest in the what's the term? In the liberation of the Palestinian people. But when you have let's go with internet celebrity, when you have an internet celebrity that people are very, very attached to, and then some pretty heavy shit comes out regarding them, it's extremely understandable why people are so energized about it. And I don't particularly fault people for being more energized towards Doki than Sudan or Congo. Part of me does wish that they did focus on it, but hey, we can't force people to talk about what we want to talk about, to like what we want to like. We can just talk about stuff that's already been made public. Don't make private things public, especially for content that's pretty fucking bad. And largely, fuck, support Dokibird. I know she really doesn't need a 600 subscriber channel shouting her out. She is 100,000 times bigger than me. But still, I'm still going to say it. I think she deserves the support that she's been getting lately since going indie. I do think she does deserve that. Obama. Oh, thank you for that. Thanks for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike if you didn't. Let me know in the comments why you think I'm wrong. Check out the community on Discord. And remember, if you can't be the sharpest tool in the shed, you can always be the hoe. Just want to take a quick second and thank all the beeps that help support this channel through the membership. So, thank you, Joestar, Maxi Kitty, and JM.